Hi, how are you? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of the day it is that you're listening to this. My good name is Wanzuu. I'm your host for the Walking with Wanzuu podcast. Long time no podcast episode, not long time no talk, long time I haven't seen you guys, but it's so good. It's so good to be here. I am so happy to be back. I am sending you so much love and laughter. Happy New Year! How is everyone doing? Oh my gosh. Guys, I have been recording and I've really been struggling to get back into the swing of things. Remembering why I fell in love with all of this in the first place. And I think I'm ready. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. KPLC just did its thing, so we don't have lights in the house. But that's good, because maybe that was the universe calling me to attention and telling me, young girl, you better sit down and record this thing. All those thoughts in your head, let's put it down. And I'm so happy to be here. Happy New Year, happy 2025. How are you doing? Is the year off to a good start? Is it a bit rough, a bit rocky? I'm sending you love and light nonetheless, and I can't wait for all the good things, because we're speaking life, okay? I can't wait for all the good things that this new year has for us. I have been amazing. I've been good. 2024 was okay. I can't complain, honestly. I feel like 2023, which was the year that I turned 30, was a very turbulent year for me. And then coming into 2024, it's like I spent the better part of the year recovering from 2023, learning some hard lessons and rewiring a lot in my brain. And so I feel like 2025 is the year for me to actualize all that rewiring and all those lessons, and kind of just get back into the swing of things after using the better part of last year to recover from what the year before that was. So that's kind of like the attitude and the mindset I'm going into the new year with. Maybe a bit of a recap. I can tell you what happened, because I kind of stopped. I ended the last season almost towards the end of the year. I want to say sometime in September, October, and then didn't manage to do anything else after that. I thought the break was very necessary. I needed to take a bit of time to kind of introspect, but also determine and figure out the direction that I wanted to take in the next season, and also moving forward, even in my content journey, and in this journey of me just sharing and giving of myself to you guys. I just want to say also, as we talk about what my projections kind of are for the new season, that I am incredibly grateful that you're all here. I really don't take it for granted that you pause out of life's hustle and bustle and take time to just share and commune with me in this wonderful space that I created to be able to share all my life experiences, just kind of like a little love letter of me, about me, to you, and even as I speak to myself. I think it's been incredible. When I take it back to the first season, up to now, we're getting into season 6. I don't know about you, but my step up and my change game is wild. I know the woman who started this episode is definitely not the woman talking to you now. And it's not from a bad place. It's from a place of growth. It's from a place of immense growth in all ways, emotionally, physically, financially, mentally. I'm telling you, the growth game is wild. And I hope as I'm growing and sharing my journey with you, you're growing with me, okay? I hope you're growing with me. So anyway, before I digress too much, my recap of the end of 2024, because that's where we kind of left off. Yes, in October I hurt my leg. I was at work and I stepped out real quick to get something to eat. And on my way back, I twisted my leg and I sprained it really bad. And I went back to work because I thought, it's not that deep. It's probably just twisted it a little bit and it'll be better. But as I completed the rest of my shift in the afternoon, it got worse. The pain got worse. Initially, it was just discomfort and a bit of pain. And towards the end, when I needed to clock out, it was so bad I couldn't go home. I couldn't work. I was shaking in pain. I was writhing in pain. It was terrible. And mind you, I'm those people who've never actually sprained anything. So, and I like to think of my pain tolerance as really high. So it was quite a painful, I don't want to say traumatic, okay, it was quite a painful experience, honestly. Shout out to all my friends who came through for me. Or they really came through, guys. They went home to stay with my daughter because now it was evening and I was in the hospital, and they came through. They helped with her homework. My other friend cooked, and when I got home to a nice good cooked meal. I was surrounded with so much love and good vibes, and they were there for me and they stayed with me. And all I had to do actually that evening when I got home was to pray over my little baby and put her to bed and put her tuck her in bed. There was a friend of mine who came through in the hospital, just running around trying to make sure I get everything that I need, from the x-rays, making sure the treatment is done right, like following up with the nurses, helping with the billing process. And they took me home, and then let me tell you, when it rains it pours. Okay, so we get home, and by this time it's almost 9 p.m. And then what happens? The elevator is not working, guys. We find that on the one day that I'm doing hopscotch, a good one, the elevator is not working. So this poor person had to carry me up the stairs to the 4th floor. If you're listening to this, God bless you. I don't know how I can ever repay you, but hey, thanks, man. Thank you so much. Shout out to the friends that actually really come through in your time of need, and they do it 100%, and they do it with so much gentleness and kindness. They were incredibly patient, brought a lot of calm and good vibes. I felt taken care of. I felt my friends followed up the next day. They were like, how are you? How can we support you? What do you need? And I think it was also the universe calling me to a pause and telling me, hey, you've been running around too much, Wanzuu. Hit pause, or we will pause you. And it did pause me because I had to stay home for the rest of the week. Another thing that I really learned during that experience was, because I remember coming in and I honestly couldn't walk. I was shaking from pain, and so when the nurse came in, I had to be taken into the wheelchair entrance because I honestly, genuinely, I'm telling you guys, I couldn't even hop. I was in so much pain, and so the nurses go in. And they weren't taking it as fast, but there was this nurse who swooped in and really helped me, and she really prioritized helping me get a painkiller first because I was in so much pain. I was literally crying. And so when I find that the painkillers kicked in and I was feeling better, there was this doctor who was reviewing my x-ray, who was the initial doctor who saw me first. And she says in the most condescending tone, so did you come in here with a wheelchair? Did you, isn't that painful? Almost to insinuate, is it really that painful? And I can just tell you that something I have learned over time in life is there's no trophy for suffering. And in that moment, I remember telling myself, there's no trophy I'll get here for showing these people how I know how to endure pain. If you're going to examine the leg and I feel pain, I will twitch, I will wince, I will communicate it. And sometimes that is frowned upon because it's like you could be drowning in pain and the world is high-fiving you, telling you, wow, you're so strong. I am about to retire from being the strongest soldier package. I don't want it. It's not a badge of honor. There's no trophy for suffering. If I'm in a space where I'm in pain, I'm uncomfortable, of course, within reason, I will always vocalize it, even if it makes other people around me uncomfortable, or if they share a contrary opinion of how I should just persevere and waddle through the pain. That's not my portion anymore. And if you're listening to this and that's something that you struggle with, please retire. You have my permission. Honey, step down, okay? If you're in pain, if you're in discomfort, even when it makes the people around you uncomfortable, please communicate it. Just do it in a good way, okay? And actually, there's no right or wrong way to kind of communicate pain or discomfort, because when you're in the moment, how you communicate it is the best way that you knew how to at the time, as long as you're of course now not hurting people around you. And you get my drift, you know what I'm saying. So that happened and I stayed home for a week, and then I had to learn how to walk really slowly. That means I had to wake up extra early when I was doing school drop-offs and school pickups, and I really had to learn how to slow down in that moment. But it was a good thing, I think. It's just that the pain and that happened. So that happened in October. And then getting into November, it was a pretty slow month, nothing too eventful. December was amazing because one of my favorite people was in town and I got to spend time with them. And then I also got to spend a bit of time alone because my mom was helping take care of my daughter. So I would just come from work, come home, relax, be in my own company, be in my own zone, cook what I want. I got a bit of time to go out, see what the Nairobi nightlife is all about, have my gin and tonic almost every day because it's holiday season. Yeah, I had a blast. I'm not even going to lie. I had a blast. December was good to me. However, also, I had a couple of health scares leading into December and leading into the holidays as well. My blood pressure was doing backflips, but now the funny thing is it wasn't high, it was quite low. And then I just had issues like with iron and stuff like that, so I had to be on an iron supplement. Thinking about it, I actually need to try and schedule an appointment for my next one. So I think I was experiencing general burnout, and it was burnout in terms of physically because I wasn't sleeping well. I had so much to do. I had a lot on my plate. And then last year was a year where I was kind of now just doing everything without leaving help. So I was doing school drop-offs, school pickups, all the house chores. It was a lot. But I'm happy that now I kind of get the hang of it, and I also put a few measures in place to make it easier for me. So that was that. But the health scare was crazy. There was a time I was getting some medicine administered and my blood pressure dropped. And I almost thought I was going into the pearly gates, guys. It was really scary, to be honest. It was really scary. But that has jolted me to take better care of myself, okay? So I've prioritized my eating. I'm on multivitamins. On days when I can't sleep, I'll try and do what I need to do to sleep. And I've also started working out again. It makes me feel good because my body feels like it's stretched and nice. I'm not going to sleep feeling like I just need to take out my spine and wring it and stretch it out. No, not necessarily. But I'm doing the best that I can to take care of myself better. I'm putting boundaries in place. I'm prioritizing saying no, I can't do that. Because one of the things I've noticed I do a lot is I'm generally a reliable person. And reliable people sometimes struggle because when people need you to do things or when things are needed of you to do them, it's when you say no or I can't or I'm not sure I can make it happen, it's like, oh, how dare you? But you always come through. But you always make it happen. What is this you can't make it happen energy you're coming with? So now that's going to change, and it has started changing. So I've started putting measures in place where I tell myself, am I going above and beyond? Am I overexerting myself? I need to pump the brakes. I need to be careful. I need to prioritize my well-being. I need to make sure I'm not overexerting myself. That's pretty much been it. And then now coming into the new year, I was really, I'm optimistic about 2025. This year, I'm living in a lot of answered prayers, something that I've wanted to do for so long, finally aligned, and I've started doing it in January. And as we continue talking for the rest of the season, I'll definitely share what it is. But allow me to just soak in it now and kind of get the hang of it. But it's when I tell you guys, I'm living in an answered prayer, I am so grateful. I am, from the bottom of my heart, I am so grateful because this is something I've been wanting to do for so long, and I've also spoken about it on here because, like I said earlier, I always take you guys through my entire journey, just to be able to just look back and say, oh my, I really spoke that, I really worked towards it, God really made it happen in His own time, and it's beautiful to see. It's so beautiful to see, and I'm really excited to share that with you as well. I've also learned and noticed with a lot of joy that I'm generally also very calm when it comes to my parenting. I think one of the things we don't talk about enough is how when you become a parent when you're young, you kind of struggle with exercising authority from a point of ego, right? It's like, do it because I said so, because it's me and I'm the mom. And it's okay. Sometimes there's a time and a place to be able to do that. But sometimes you kind of need to guide children with a lot of love and tenderness. And when you feel like you're outstretched and you're being stretched out into so many different roles, and everything is a piece of you, sometimes you don't have the patience to do that when parenting. But it's something that I've been exercising, and I'm so happy to be in a space where I can say I'm actively exercising it. I'm generally more patient. I'm trying to even when my baby does something wrong, I'm trying to kind of not snap, but discipline from a point of gentleness. I don't know if that makes sense. I always know that if I was ever married, or if I was in a situation where I was co-parenting, then I'd definitely be the bad cop, because even among my friends' babies, I'm usually I'm the stricter aunt. I'm very, I don't want to say authoritarian because that's not me, but I'm very strict. Like, I come off very, very strict. Okay, I don't know any other word to kind of articulate it. I'm that aunt who people tell you, act right or I'll tell Auntie Wanzuu. That's me. And so as a parent, that energy doesn't shift. But I'm happy that I'm starting to strike a balance, and I'm starting to learn when to even bring in the discipline, but with a bit of ease and gentleness, and not to allow external pressures to kind of influence how I interact in my parenting journey. And I know it's going to take some time, and I know it's going to take a lot of practice, but it's happening, and I'm so happy to see it. And I hope as we continue talking that in the season, a lot more conversations and a lot more parents will be truly open about how generally life's pressures, especially when you're doing it alone, can really influence how it is that you show up. And it makes you harder, it makes you, it's like you're ruling with a rod of steel, when really you should just try and be as gentle as you can, because the truth is these kids are growing. They won't be here forever. I know it seems like parenting is a lifelong commitment, but the truth is they're growing. There are times when now they'll literally not be under you. They won't be needing your attention that much. They won't be, but it's very important that as they go through the journey, they remember that you did it with a lot of love, and that you never lost sight of the fact that parenting is such a gift and it's such a blessing. And at times when things are really hard, I personally find myself losing sight of that, but I'm so happy that I'm learning to catch myself. I really am. And if you're a parent out there, and sometimes you're seeing parenting is showing you acrobatics, I'm sending you so much love, and I just want to tell you, don't be hard on yourself. You're not alone. It's the awareness and the need and the effort that you put in wanting to be better, and one day it's gonna come together. It is. So I'm sending you so much love, and I am rooting for you just as much as I'm rooting for myself as I continue to try to be better and do better. In terms of work, guys, let me tell you, a moment of silence for everyone who's kind of lost their jobs coming into the new year. I know a number of people who've lost their jobs coming into the new year, and it's so scary. It is so scary, because even the times we're living in now, generally, it's the economy is crazy. Everybody's clutching on straws, including the ones that have an income. So I just want to send so much love to the people who've lost their source of income over the past month coming into the new year. And I really hope that even as the universe has brought you into this journey, that things align for you and you find the why, and you kind of have you get the grace and the resources that you need to be able to navigate this season. I know that has really changed the perspective for me in terms of how I view my job. There are times I've felt overwhelmed. There are times I've just felt like, oh God, why am I here? And I just needed to pause and say, you know what? There are times that it's hard. There are times that I really feel like I don't want to be there. But it pays my bills, I can afford my life because I have a job, and the job pays me, and I'm able to take care of what I need to take care of, and for that I need to be grateful, and I need to show up in the best way that I can. It's also brought about the awareness of me needing to monetize my talents. And so I'm going to be stepping out with a lot of boldness this year to kind of see how I can I can tap into my mini talents, how I can maximize them, and even better, how I can monetize them, because we could all use the extra income. And my prayer is I get to a point where that extra income allows me to feel like my 9 to 5 can be an option. And if God willing, I can make that transition and have a lot more autonomy over my time, I'm happy to do it. But in the meantime, I'm definitely working on my attitude as far as appreciating my job and just really being grateful for being there and being grateful for what I have. I truly am. Yeah, notwithstanding, work politics can be crazy. The work environment sometimes can be so depressing, and that's one of the things I'll definitely be talking about coming into the season. Office politics, the days when you generally walk through life depressed because of your job. How sometimes we get into the rat race of adulting and forget the little cute little innocent dreams that we had coming into adulting and as children. And we always knew, because I'm not even going to sit here and lie to you that I don't know some of the things that if I would even be getting paid right now, I'd be so happy to do. There's so many things, okay? I have all these dreams and visions of how I'd love to be able to transition into my career from one thing into the other until I kind of feel like I'm really living in my purpose and in my dream and in the thing that makes me tick and utilizing all the talents that I have. But even as I get there and work my way through there, I need to find other ways to kind of navigate the process and be very conscious about finding small pockets of joy. And even as I navigate adulting and my work life, not losing sight of what my true purpose, my true calling, my talents, that thing that makes me tick and happy is, and find a way to weave it into my work life. So there's that, and I'm looking forward to kind of unpacking that conversation with you as the season continues. I'm also looking forward to finding love, guys. I think I've been single for a minute. It's time it's time I dip my toes, I go back into it. And I'm such a lover girl. I'm such a sucker for love, and that's something that I also need to address, and I've been addressing. Did you know that love and the idea of falling in love and the idea of relationships can be an addiction? Did you know that it's okay to be a lover girl, but there's also an extreme on the other side? And that's something that I personally have had to call myself to attention, okay? Call myself to a meeting and say, oh yeah, we need to recalibrate. There's some to things, some notions that you have, there's some negative traits that you have, there's some negative connotations, wirings that you have in terms of love and romantic relationships that you kind of need to let go of, and kind of do what is not toxic, what is good for both you and in future for your romantic partners. So I'm really open to finding love, but doing it right. I know that because I'm a lover girl and I love love and I'm very expressive and I love loud, sometimes it can come off intimidating. Sometimes I might also come off controlling, because it's very important to kind of allow love to flow through you and let it flow. Keyword, flow. And sometimes I feel the need to kind of control the narrative and work within timelines. And when something doesn't go as I had intended, I get hurt, I get antsy, I get upset, I get worked up, I feel defeated. And just allowing things to flow, allowing relationships that automatically needed to end, that friendship, be that allowing people to show up for me and just relinquishing the need for control. If it's meant to be love, if it's meant to be support, if it's just meant to be a good friendship, if love comes and it's here for a good time and not for a long time, that's okay. Even if the goal is for it to be long term and not to feel the need to want to control it and drag it out. So that's something that I'm definitely working on, and I'm looking forward to share with you my journey. And just putting myself out there and kind of believing that my person will find me. I know the dating world right now is in shambles, and everybody has their fair share of horror stories. But I really refuse to believe that there's no one for me out there. I know my person will find me. And one of my cousins, who's also like a sister to me, usually tells me the craziest thing. She tells me, I know that you've really been through it when it comes to love and romantic relationships. But have you ever thought that sometimes also the way you're just here struggling and wondering, where is my person? Your soulmate is also equally in another corner, just here struggling, fighting for his life. And when he finds you, it'll be so funny for you guys to say, Aki, where have you been? Do you know? Do you know how I have suffered before you located me? So that will be very exciting to experience. But until then, I'm opening myself to love. I'm putting positivity out there, good energy, good vibes. And as we talk about putting positivity out there, I also really want to work on my approach. Now, we all have different approaches as far as how we view life. I'm generally a kind of a pessimist, right? I'm a glass half empty kind of person. That's just usually my outlook in life for a lot of things. But I really want to switch that up. I want to change how I talk to myself. I want to change how I talk about myself, how I talk about my situations, how I talk about my relationships. And I know when I put out good energy out there, even when it's even low-key is borderline delulu, that's fine. But I want to learn to put out a lot of positive vibes and speak life into my love life, speak life into my work life, speak life into my parenting, speak life into my life in general, speak good things, speak life, and just put out a lot of positive energy and light. I really want abundance. I want abundance in terms of money. I want monetary abundance, wealth, if necessary. I want abundance of love in my family, love in my work. Work life not necessarily. Work life, I just want stability and abundance as well. I want good jobs that pay me well, pay me better than I even imagined. I want abundance in love. I know I want my person to find me, and I want to find my person, and I just want abundance, and I know relationships are never an easy ride, but where there is abundance of love and grace, and you're all sharing a common vision, then I think for the most part you can be able to outride the storms that come in. So there's that. I'm generally the month of January was a bit turbulent for me. I'm not even gonna lie. It was very turbulent. It had me by my edges, but gratefully and thankfully, it's kind of worked out. As I said, I'm working on my outlook, so I don't allow the dark days to completely take over me. I'll feel my feelings, but I'll tell myself this too shall pass. The good times came, they passed. The bad times are here, they'll pass. The dark times will come, they'll pass. But I'll allow life to flow through me, and just allow myself to go through the emotions and trust and believe that it'll get better, and put measures in place, be gracious to myself, be kind to myself, and just allow myself to go through it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. I think it's been an amazing catch up. I've kind of let you know what I've been up to. I've told you what it is that I'm putting out into the universe in this new year and trusting God for, because He is good and He is faithful and He makes all things beautiful in His time. I'm sending you so much love and light. If you had a rocky start to the year, please receive so much love and so much peace and so much light. If you've had an awesome start to the year, sending you a high five and so much love as well. And I just can't wait. The gift of new beginning is such a beautiful gift, because if you aren't meant to be here, you wouldn't be here now, but you are. And I'm so happy that you're here and that you're here with me. And I can't wait to see what it is that is in store for us coming into the new year. When you listen to this episode, it's probably going to be on February 3rd, which is my birthday. I will have turned a year older. So feel free to engage with me. Go follow me on Instagram on the Walking with Wanzuu podcast. Did you also know that we are on YouTube? And I've been dropping some serious nuggets leading into my birthday on YouTube Shorts. So please go onto my YouTube channel, Walking with Wanzuu, and subscribe, guys. Please subscribe. The handle is Miss Wanzuu. The channel is Walking with Wanzuu, and I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to even drop me an email on ywanzuu@gmail.com. Let me know what's been going on with you, what's been happening. Feel free to suggest any topics that you'd love for me to tackle. Feel free to ask me any questions, and I'm just so happy and blessed that you're here. Have a great one, whatever time it is that you're listening to this, and have a blessed and wonderful year that's filled with so much abundance. And I pray that all those silent prayers that tug at your heart will come to pass and will be fulfilled. Love you, mean it. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.